Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 most underrated vehicles in GTA Online. I'm going to tell you the number of reasons why I think these vehicles are underrated, and keep in mind, this is my opinion, so if you disagree, cry about it, I don't really care. And as always, remember to like and subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it. Now at number 5 we have the Tropos Relay, and I absolutely adore this thing. This car cost around $800,000, which in GTA Online is pretty much nothing, and it's really good for what the car actually is, because overall it really just has a good performance. I mean, in handling, the speed's okay. I mean, just everything about it is just really good. I mean, the customization is lacking, I'll admit that. You can't really do much to it, but just overall, I love this thing, and I love to just drive around in it every now and again. Now, I personally believe that the car is underrated because I've never seen anybody drive this thing around, ever. Never in my life have I ever seen anyone drive around in it. And I've also never seen anyone ever even mention it, so I wouldn't be surprised if half of you have never even seen this car before. And that's one of the big reasons why I think it's underrated. And because I think people should know about it, because this thing's absolutely amazing. I love it to pieces. And something else that I just really, really like about this car is that it reminds me of the Batmobile from the new Batman movie that came out a few years ago with Robert Pattinson. I just think it looks a lot like that car, and I just think it's really good looking. So yeah, for 800 grand, this car is amazing. Please make sure to pick this thing up because it is incredible. I actually got this thing for free back in the day, but you don't get that anymore. So unlucky, but 800 grand's 800 grand, not too much, so make sure to pick it up. Now, my next pick's a little bit controversial, and it's the Galaxy Super Yacht. Now, I know what you're thinking. Juvo, the yacht isn't a vehicle, it's a property. Well, I don't care. A yacht is a ship, and a ship is a vehicle, so shut up, it's a vehicle. Now, over the years, I've seen the yacht get a lot of hate, because everyone always just looks at it and says, that is the biggest waste of money I've ever seen. And to be fair, they do have a point. It is, for the most expensive version, $10 million. The one I have that you see in this video was just shy of $10 million. Because I got a different paint job that I thought looked better. But it was still like 9.8 million, so pretty much 10 mil. But with that price, you get a big ass yacht, you get a free helicopter. But more importantly, you get status. When people see that you have the yacht, they know that you have money and that you've made it. When I bought my yacht, it was a symbol to me that I have completed GTA Online, that I had completed everything I had to do, and the way to celebrate that was by buying my yacht and pretty much retiring from the game for a while, until I came back 2 weeks later, but hey-oh. And surprisingly, the yacht has actually become an anti-griefer vehicle. This is because it has self-defense systems, so if an oppressor flies over, if you turn the setting on, it'll shoot a missile and it'll immediately kill that oppressor user, keeping you safe from griefers and safe to enjoy your time on your own yacht. So yeah, whenever I bought my yacht, I have had no regrets with it. I'm very glad I purchased it, and I do not understand the hate this thing gets at all. Make sure to buy yourself a yacht if you have the money. Don't listen to the hate. A yacht is the coolest thing you can own in GTA Online. Now, moving on to the third most underrated vehicle in the game, is the Wagner. Now, when I saw this thing's relatively cheap price tag, I was just expecting a basic supercar, just the same old, nothing special. But when driving this thing around, I was genuinely surprised at how well its performance was. I mean, I would choose to drive this thing around over most other supercars. I'd still rather have an Italy GTO over it, the Ocelot Virtue and the Pariah. But no one's really beating them lot. But anyway, I just love this thing. The performance is so good, and the handling on this thing is second to none, to be honest. Because I don't think there's a single sports car that I can handle as well in as I do when I'm in the Wagner. And yeah, like I touched on earlier, it has a very cheap price tag of just about $1.5 million, which for a sports car of this quality is absolutely nothing. And this thing just looks great as well. It's a very flat car, but that, I think, adds to its uniqueness. And that backlight looks so good in the dark, as you can probably see right now. And there's just so many different ways that you can make this car look so cool. But yeah, the reason it's underrated is that for a car that performs this well, I have never seen or heard anyone ever talk about this thing, which is a shock to me because I absolutely love this vehicle. I just think this vehicle deserves a lot more love than it actually gets, because this is one of the best performance sports cars I've ever driven. It's one of the best looking sports cars I've ever driven. And I tell you what, for 1.5 million, it's a great deal. But anyway, on to the next one. And the second most underrated vehicle in the whole game is the Deluxo. And I know what you're saying, I know what you're thinking. But just hold off, let me explain. This car is so overhated because I have seen so much hate towards it. And I don't understand why people hate this thing so much, because I just think it's excellent. And I would gladly choose this vehicle over a Mark II any day of the week. But let's go over some of the points why I like it so much. And reason number one is that it's based off the DeLorean from Back to the Future, and I absolutely love that movie. So any chance that I get to drive around in this vehicle, I will always take, because every time I see it, I just see Doc Brown flying around in it, and that just makes me happy, okay? Stop hating on me. And another reason why it's so underrated is, I think it's probably got the best lock-on missiles out of any vehicle in the whole game, because they are so good and so accurate. The only other vehicle that I think really compares to it is a Toreador, but I don't personally own one of them, to be honest, so I can't really comment on that. I just know that they're pretty good based on what I've heard, but yeah, the lock-on features in this vehicle are amazing, and pretty much cannot be topped. And I've heard a lot of people say that, it's overpriced, no. But like, shut up, man. Like, you get police cars nowadays going for 5 mil. So what's the problem with the Deluxo being that price as well? I mean, the car literally flies and shoots missiles. Stop complaining. And everyone always says, it's so slow. But like, it's really just not. Like, I can get anywhere like considerably fast when I'm going in this thing. Like, I just don't understand the hate it gets. Like, one of my favourite activities in this game is getting in this thing and just going in public lobbies and fighting all the Mark II griefers, because they stand at no chance against this thing. Well, if you know what you're doing with it, because the combat in this thing, by the way, is so fun to do. And as I said, it is my favourite way of dealing with Oppressor Mark II griefers, because the lock-on missiles in this thing are far better than the Oppressor missiles. But yeah, the customization on this thing is quite limited, I'll be honest, but still, you can make it look quite cool. Like, the version I have that's all blacked out, I think it looks pretty cool, to be honest. I mean, you might disagree, but that's just what I think. But there are definitely ways you can make this vehicle look really good. So yeah, it is very overhated and very underrated. But let's move on to the next one, a number one spot. And in that number one spot, we have the Oppressor Mark I. And in all honesty, I think this might be my favourite vehicle in the entire game. And if you've watched a number of my videos, you will see that I like to use this vehicle to get a lot of background footage, especially in my GTA videos. I mean, it's just so fun to like drive about, and just so fun to watch, to be honest. I mean, just some of the stunts that people pull off in this thing are just incredible. My only problem with the Mark I is that you need to do bunker missions in order to get access to the missiles, which I just cannot be bothered doing, but I don't really use this vehicle for combat purposes anyway, so like, it didn't really matter to me. But yeah, one of the reasons why it's so underrated is because of the Mark II. Everyone overlooks the Mark I and goes straight to the Mark II. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're wrong. The Mark I solos. The Mark I is so clear. I absolutely love this thing, and you should too. The Mark II is for stupid rats. Mark I is for distinguished gentlemen. And if you don't own one of these, then I genuinely feel sorry for you, because this is some of the most fun things you can do in the whole of GTA Online is driving around in one of these things, because it is amazing. And the customization on this thing is also pretty good, to be honest, and you can definitely make some cool designs. But I just really wish I saw this thing in the wild more, because like, I don't even remember the last time I saw a Mark I in like a public session. But this is by far my favourite futuristic vehicle, and probably, as I said earlier, my favourite vehicle in the entirety of GTA Online. And I think it's a disgrace that people overlook it so much, because honestly, I don't understand why people actually think the Mark II is better. The Mark II ruins the game and makes it too easy. This thing actually requires some skill in order to like fly it properly. But it's just because all the little kids, they don't know how to use their skill. They don't have any skill, so they can't drive this thing because it's too hard. They need the easy option. Pathetic. Yeah, so that's my list. Sorry for going on a rant that back there. I'm very passionate about that subject. But yeah, let me know what you think about my picks. Tell me how wrong you think I am, because I know everyone's going to be pissed off with this list because people are stupid nowadays.
Oh, yeah, it isn't even a vehicle, and it looks so. That thing's trash.
Honestly, just shut the fuck up, and I'll see you in the next one.